I feel like you're so far away. This is not how I like to sit.
I don't like to sit like this either. Should we scoot just a touch closer? But then I have to...
It's okay. We just know that you're so far away.
I have to rearrange all the cameras if I do that. Welcome to the Ellie and Jared podcast. It's been 84 years. No, it's been
a long time. And we loved when we did the podcast.
Mm-hmm. The last podcast that we uploaded was in April of 2020, more than 3 years ago.
We moved 2 months after that.
Yeah, a ton has happened since then. Should we go through a list of things that have happened? So we experienced a worldwide pandemic.
And we moved before it was like, well, I feel like the whole world was like, well, what's going on? Everyone was buying dogs all of a sudden. But then it was like, what do we move? Our house price is going up, down. Like, what's going on?
It was confusion.
I feel like we like slid under the radar. It's like we sold our house, we got our lot, and then life went crazy.
Yeah, it got worse, I feel like. But that was crazy. So then we moved to Southern Utah from Northern Utah. We established our roots here, and it's been wonderful to be here. I don't want to like make anyone up north feel bad, but it's like 30 degrees there today, and it's going to be like 65 degrees here today, which feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Then we experienced some infertility troubles. Again. But I don't want to spoil anything. We overcame those infertility struggles. And we were able to have our fourth child.
Our fourth and last baby.
And it was a girl. 3 boys and a girl. Our sweet little Jennifer June.
I don't even know the words to say. Jared uses this one word to describe her all the time, and I always forget it.
Methodical.
Yeah. He's like, she is so methodical.
Mm-hmm.
The way she is, the way she acts. Like, just now I went and laid her in her crib, and she just like stared at me, smiled, like grabbed the blanket, and I'm like, you're a baby. Like, she's so cute.
Don't be acting like that. You're a baby. But no, when I mean methodical, it's like when she grabs something, she holds it and she looks at it and she takes her pointer finger and she like
is slow and thoughtful.
Everything she does is like thought out. And it's just really cute to see.
I remember Jackson at this age was like in drawers, pulling everything out. And it's like, she just sits.
Yeah.
She just sits. And I'm like, oh, I can clean a bathroom while she's sitting playing with the toy. It's wild to me.
My favorite thing is that she plays with your dollhouse.
Yeah.
Like your dollhouse that you had when you were a baby or a kid. She plays with that nonstop all of the time. And I love it. It's like, hey, we have to do this for 5 minutes. Put her by the dollhouse and she's set. She's good.
Yeah.
She loves it. What else has happened? We completely revamped our health and nutrition. And I'm really excited to talk about that.
It's been a hard year
with you in more detail in another podcast, but it's been life-changing, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Another life-changing thing is I had a total reconstructive,
a hip replacement.
A total replacement.
That was the before.
The previous few surgeries.
Yeah.
No, I had a total hip replacement, and that is continuing to prove to be a journey in and of itself.
It's like our year's been rough, but it's also, there's been lots of...
There's always silver linings, good moments that come with it.
But tough as in like changing our diet was not easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a lifestyle change. Yeah. That's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Surgery, not easy with little kids that demand that you take them up the stairs at 3 a.m. It's like not easy.
The doctor told me not to, but it's like, I'm a dad. I'm going to do that. I feel bad sometimes, but it's like
you're supposed to rest after you have a baby, and it's like you try your best, but
you just had a baby. You
have to like live life.
And then another thing that has happened, as you know, our family and extended family has experienced some devastating news.
We want to be respectful. We want to be respectful of the courts. We want to be respectful of our extended family.
Mm-hmm. We love those guys so much. We will continue to do what we can to support them, but out of respect for everyone involved, we just won't be talking about it.
My heart has been heavy.
One thing that Ellie and I do love is doing things together. We love creating together. We love talking together. And that's one of the reasons that we've really
loved the podcast.
Yeah, we really enjoy doing the podcast, and we wanted to bring it back.
I will say this, we had our podcast set up a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was that day. We had our podcast set up. We were excited to get going. Mm-hmm. And I came home and I never co-sleep with June ever. I did with my other kids, but I never co-slept with her. And I was taking a nap with her and my sister kept calling and I was like, oh my gosh, like I'll call you later. We never do that. So I thought something's up, but I took my nap with her and I woke up and I called her and I dropped to my knees, literally dropped to the floor. And so it's been a wild few months and this is what we were wanting to do.
Yeah.
So it does feel good to sit with you and do what we were wanting to do. We wanted to sit and do some podcasts. Like we loved it when we did it. And then we moved and our life got busy and chaotic and getting into the house. And
I think I just love that we're able to sit down for an hour or so while the baby's taking a nap or while the kids are at school and just talk to each other because this is what we do in the car.
Yeah.
This is what we do when we're out taking the dogs for a walk.
When we do our dump run. It's our favorite. It's our favorite. When we have crap that we have to take to the dump and we're like, oh, I've got a bunch of boxes we need to recycle. It's a date. We love it.
We'll go get a little snack and, well, it's more of a healthy snack now. We'll go to the snack and we'll go to the recycling center. We'll go to the dump and we'll just sit and talk and we'll talk about our favorite things and things that are going on in the week. And, we want to bring back the podcast to do just that, to have that hour. It's like a date for us and not just talk, just the two of us, but we would love to bring other creators, other professionals, couples who work together. I think that's what I'm excited about is there's a lot of segments that we want to do with other people that I think would be
so fun,
really fun and insightful. And so I have some plans that we want to do, but with all that being said, let us be the first to welcome you back to the Ellie and Jared podcast. Shall we roll the music?
Yes, that was a long intro. I'm sorry.
I think I just hit this button.
I don't ever want to change the music.
Do you hear it? You have headphones
I hear it. I never want to change this music. It's so uplifting to me.
It really is. And
it's I love it so much.
Let's talk about that music for a second before we. I love it. It is so uplifting. It is makes you feel good, and it's been a long time since I've heard that, and it's been a long time since I felt like that. Whoop! You're like, oh, it brings the nostalgia, the memories, and I hope it does for you guys too, the same way it does for us. But speaking of relationships, love, we're in the month of November. Every month throughout the year, we try to express gratitude, right? I feel like I try to express gratitude as often as I possibly can.
That's the number one thing we try and tell our kids daily. It's like you have like your family motto or your family goals. We really, really try and talk to our kids a lot about gratitude and being kind. If you can be kind to others, if you can be grateful for what you have, that is going to help you a lot in life.
Gratitude is directly related to happiness, and it's not the other way around. Like, in order to have happiness, you need to have gratitude, and we have so much to be grateful for. And every day, I think it's important to talk about the things that you're grateful for, but especially during the month of November. It's the month of Thanksgiving, right?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about it was the month of love because it's our anniversary, but fine, I'll talk about Thanksgiving.
Well, I want to hear what you have to say about love as well.
We had a dinner with the kids on November 1st, and I said, guys, we've had so much fun in October. I feel like I was the ultimate fun mom in October because I thought I can't control anything other than my attitude
Mm-hmm.
and anything. And I want my kids to see me happy. Jackson told one of my friends, he was like, I think my mom's depressed.
Aww.
And it made her cry. It made me cry.
That makes me cry.
And I just really wanted October to be fun. I wanted to really, it's the kids month. It's like all these holidays. It's like, well, this is about Christ and Christmas and this is about Thanksgiving. And like, it's like Halloween is just fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted the kids to have fun. We had like 10 neighbors over on October 1st. We were painting pumpkins and then we had to throw away those moldy pumpkins and paint again. But we had so much fun. And on November 1st, we sat down and I said, look, we've had so much fun in October. This month, I really want us, we're going to do less friends. We're going to do more family dinners. We're going to be grateful. We're going to show gratitude. We're going to do family games. I really want this month to hone in on our family to like guide us into the Christmas season.
Yeah.
And before bed, Calvin brought me his thankful list.
Oh
I
my
am
gosh.
thankful for, and it said everything he was thankful for, like the kids, parents, Jesus. He put God, and then he scratched out God, and he put life with like exclamation points.
Well, I think he scratched out God because he was like, well, I already put Jesus, so I think that like counts towards it. So I'm going to put this
To me,
instead.
this is how he was saying in his head, I'm grateful for Jesus. I'm grateful for God. No, I'm grateful for life. That's how I think he was saying in his head.
Oh, but it was, we have good days and bad days, and that was a bad day. And Calvin came in with that sheet, and it was a punch to the gut of like, this is what matters.
Yeah, this moment was, I held on to the moment.
Yeah.
Because I needed that.
And Calvin came in, the tender heart that he has that is 10 times bigger than all of us, came in and he's like, Dad, will you please look at that? And I was like, just a minute, buddy. We're trying to get this figured out. Please.
I think it was late at night. We were overwhelmed getting kids to bed. We had just had this dinner, this huge dinner with the kids too. So I'm like, okay, I'm talked out.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, but when you look at it, will you please let me know? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll look at it in just a second. And then instantly when I was reading it, I was like,
were you like, dang it?
I should have just read it right when he was there.
I know.
It brought tears to my eyes. Like, it was just like, if I could only be so good as Calvin to have that. And he took his time. His handwriting was better than I've ever seen. And he listed so many wonderful things on there. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then
I want to be like him.
Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? When mommy's done handling the situation, I'm going to show it to her and then I'll bring you in.
Yeah.
And it was just the best.
Yeah. And now I have it like on my stand.
That is a paper that we will keep in our family forever.
Yeah.
Like, we should have him date it and sign it. It was just so cute. But right now, thinking about Thanksgiving is so important and is such a big factor in happiness.
Oh, I'm so grateful to get into the holiday season.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yes. That's why I was like, October, come on. We're going to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
November, December, it's like, put the tree up. Like, I don't care. I want to eat dinner while I look at a beautiful tree. I want it to like, it brings in that feeling. It's not, and it's like being a busy mom, being a mom in general, being not even a parent, but just working. Life is so busy all damn year. Put up the tree, put on the music, enjoy a new scenery in the house. It will shift your focus so quick. It's
Absolutely.
good. I love it.
Absolutely. And I have to say, sometimes I'm in my office and my office is detached from the main part of the house. So I don't always hear what's going on. But like when Ellie pumps the music, I'm like, oh, there's definitely music playing. And when I walk into the house, well, yeah, I smile and I'm like, okay, I'm about to walk into the house. There's music playing. Ellie is doing something. Is she? And 9 times out of 10, it's cleaning. And I'm so grateful for that. But I walk in and I'm like, is it angry cleaning or is it happy cleaning?
If music's on, it's always happy cleaning. Come on. Come on.
It's true. But I walked in and Ellie's cleaning. She's getting the Christmas ornaments out. She's getting the tree set aside. And I'm just like, this is sweet. Like, I love to see the happiness that is coming.
It's a choice.
Mm-hmm.
It is a choice. people like to be like, toxic positivity, all this, whatever. Jared and I are quick to say, you need to feel your emotions.
Absolutely.
You need to see a licensed therapist.
Emphasis, please.
You need to feel what you're feeling. And that may take a year. It may take a month. It may take a week. When Jackson said that to my friend, the first month I couldn't get really out of bed.
Yeah.
And I was asking neighbors to come help me. And Jared was very, very preoccupied with doing things for extended family. And so when Jackson had said that, I really did say a really, one of the most intentional prayers. And I was just like, I want to be able to just be here for my kids. Like, I have to block everything out. I need to get up. I need to take care of myself. I need to eat food. I had lost 8 pounds. My milk was going away. I had a baby to feed. I just want to shift my mind. And I kid you not, when I told myself I have to shift my mind, I was able to. Doesn't mean I'm happy. Doesn't mean all of a sudden life is grand. But like you really can shift your focus quick. You can decide, even when your life feels like crap, you can decide to get up for yourself. And I swear every day gets better. It does.
Absolutely. And I think part of it is it's not an instant thing, like you said.
Oh,
like,
no.
It's not, maybe not
I kept
happiness.
the toilet close by. Like
Yeah.
Anxiety poop is real.
It is very real. And we've all had that. I think not necessarily happiness is a choice, but happiness is choices you make, because you have to constantly be making those things, and things interfere with that. And it may take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 step forward, 1 step back. But as long as you're making those efforts, it will come. And I feel like we are constantly experiencing that now, where we do feel good, we do feel happy, and then we get hit with something. And then we have to consciously make that effort over and over and over again. We're talking breathing exercises. We're talking about getting outside. We're talking about putting away the phones. We're talking about just eating
a
in
good
the moment.
meal.
Yeah.
That helps you. One of the things that we did in 2020 is, and we did it when we were going through infertility with Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
we put on the Discovery Channel and we would watch like the whales and the goats climbing the mountain, and we would watch these things, and it brought us ultimate peace.
I am one to not really get anxious. I didn't really understand a lot when Ellie was talking about feeling anxious. It wasn't a feeling that I had a lot. But when the pandemic hit and there was just so much uncertainty with everything, I started to feel that anxiety like Ellie did. So I was like, oh, you feel like this all the time? This sucks a lot. But being able to sit down together and watch that, and it helped a ton.
It did. It was like a meditation.
Absolutely was. We watched like Animal Planet, like Planet Earth on Netflix. We downloaded Headspace. We downloaded Calm.
Yeah.
and we
still use those.
We meditated every single night before bed, and we would do breathing exercises every single night before bed just to make it through the pandemic. And that,
because for a few weeks it was really rough.
It was because
it wasn't
no
just the
knew.
pandemic.
Yeah.
It was like there was a lot going on.
That and The Office.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Now I want to watch The Friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to watch that with you.
I want to watch Friends, and I've seen a couple episodes of Frasier, but I want to watch Frasier too. There's lots of old shows that I want to watch, and it's like
Seinfeld's a good one.
Seinfeld's a good one. Even like 90s shows, like the kids, like Boy Meets World. I would love to watch those shows with the kids.
That would be fun. Oh, yeah. And the kids have been at such fun ages, because it used to be where it was like, go to bed. This is the time you go to bed. Well, now they're like calm, and they actually would be like, they understand like, oh, this is like mom and dad's time. And so they've been able to stay up a lot later, and like they are watching movies now. And it would be I mean, they always do on the weekends, but like on school nights, they stay up a little later now.
Yeah.
And it would be really fun to watch an episode with them.
Yeah. Gosh, there's so many things that I want to relive through my childhood and see it through my kids' eyes and see how they interpret it. I don't know. I don't know if it'll hold up like it did for when I was a kid.
Nostalgia's good.
It is so good. And now I'm starting to understand what my parents are like. You're going to love this song. I used to listen to this record all of the time.
And you're like us ungrateful kids.
Yeah, I'm just like, ugh, this is old music. No.
Les Mis. That is so like nostalgia for me. In the car, Dad blaring Les Mis. What did your dad play?
Oh, we would always listen to like classic rock and talk radio.
I was going to say, I fetching with the big F, hate talk show radio. I'm like, oh, Dad, it was so boring.
It was, but that was what was on in the daytime when Dad was driving you home from school or things like that. My dad worked from home. So anytime that I had to get a ride somewhere, he would typically be the one to help with that. And so I would get in the car and then I would hear this talk radio and I'm like, oh, brother, can we please put on some music? And now it's the same thing. It's like I'm listening to a book or a podcast and my kids are like, oh, brother.
Your dad has given us some really good advice over the years.
Absolutely.
And especially over this last month, he's given us, we'll have to talk about it sometime, but it's interesting how in your life you can be so annoyed with your own parents, and then at one point in your life it shifts and you're like, oh, I really love my parents.
Do you want to know what's funny is I actually have that. So on this document that I'm looking at, I have a list of podcast ideas, and one of them is things that bothered you about your parents.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Turned into like, oh, I'm the same person, or I'm doing the same thing, or I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Usually it turns into sweet memories.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Oh, I say that. Other people may be like, oh.
Well, I think there's always something that your kids are going to be like, I didn't like that you did that. And they're like, oh, now I see why you did that. And we're doing that with our parents. And it's just a generation thing that will happen for time in all eternity.
I know this isn't what our subject is, but one of the things that I really love and admire about my parents now that I'm a parent and we're doing with our kids, we do spend time together.
Yeah.
The kids know mom and dad do have time together. Mm-hmm. And whether it's going out on dates or a vacation or just being home and being like, no, we're together right now. Like, I like that our kids see that. I like that me and you put in that effort. I like that I saw my parents do that.
Yeah, I think it's important, it was normal for kids to see their parents have a relationship, a good relationship. I loved seeing my parents hold hands and kiss. I think it's important for them to see that relationship build. So I'm excited to talk about those things on future podcasts and talk about relationship. It's funny that I had an outline of what I wanted to talk about today, and we didn't do any of it. We were going to talk about love languages and relationship stuff.
Today?
Yeah, that was today. But we talked about gratitude, which I think is so important and so good, especially considering that it's November. But
that's the only thing that's gotten me through the last few months.
I think one of the things that I've experienced the last couple of years, but especially the last few months, is how wonderful our neighborhood is and how the camaraderie that we've experienced
multiple times
over the years has been so wonderful.
I'm so grateful for our neighbors.
Yeah. And our neighbors' kids and how fun they are with our kids. And it's just been such a neat experience to see this community be together. We've always loved where we've lived, and we've always tried to fit in where we've lived. But it's like this neighborhood has just been so fun because I feel like it's the neighborhood from the movies that you would see. Yeah. The kids are out playing, they're having fun, and the neighborhood gets together. It's like, oh, we're carving pumpkins. Oh, we're playing cornhole. It's been really fun to see.
Jared and I will go on walks with the dogs, and we always talk about how we've only lived here in this home for 2 years now, and how deep our roots have grown living here. And a year ago, I was in the hospital because I had this stroke-like migraine, and you look at the text and it almost makes you cry because it's like, wow, she was struggling because I couldn't think.
You couldn't form sentences
but I
with your
knew
mouth.
where the neighbor was in my phone, and I was able to like jumble a message. It's like, that's who I called for to like, come help me. Like, I do feel like I live in almost like a movie. I feel like, how can I get better than this?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even want to try. It's like our neighborhood has become part of our family.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel the same way. There's lots to be grateful for, and gratitude is the first step towards happiness. And that's why I love to express the things that I'm grateful for. I am grateful that we could sit down and do this podcast, and I have a lot of fun things planned and fun things in mind for this podcast. We talked about how we want to talk with other creators, but mostly I want to talk with other couples who work together. Our friends who built our home, John and Susan Christensen. I think it would be so fun to sit down with them and talk about their work dynamic.
Because everyone that works together, their dynamic is so different.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't it be fun to interview Chip and Joanna Gaines?
Better start now. Maybe in 5 years we can. But that would be great.
But also, another thing that I want to do is I have a daughter now. And I love her to pieces. I love her so much. And I want to be the best dad to my daughter that I possibly can be. And I want to interview fathers of daughters and ask them questions about how to be the best parent that I can be. I feel like we have done a great job raising our boys, and we will continue to do that.
It's a lifelong journey. There's no end.
Yeah, our parents are still talking to us and raising us.
We need advice and help more now than ever.
So as much as I want to be a good parent in general, I especially want to be a good parent. No, let me rephrase that. I especially want to be a good parent in general, but I also want to be a good parent to my only daughter. And I think that would be fun to get insight because I have raised boys and I want to do a good job raising a girl. So those are some of the things that you can expect in future podcasts. And yeah, first podcast back. I think we're in the books.
It went pretty smooth. I only have to run to the bathroom and only had one interruption, and
baby's still asleep, so I think we're good.
It felt really good to just sit and do this. We've been wanting to do this for a while. We've loved our interaction with our awesome viewers, which half the time I don't even know why they even want to follow me, but I'm just honestly so grateful. Your outpouring messages of love and support have meant more than you know. Yeah. And we are so excited to do the podcast.
Yeah. So, I love you so much.
I love you. Next time we won't sit so far. Okay, we'll see you guys on our next podcast.
Thanks. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.